Hey party people, I'm Sean Mullen from RampantDesignTools.com with more free 4K effects just for you. That's right, in today's video, I'm going to show you Bokeh from Rampant's Film and Light category. And you know what? These effects are so insanely popular that they've been downloaded almost 3 million times worldwide. Check it out. So how do you get these? Well, you know I love you, and you know Final Cut Steph loves you, so head on over to 4kfree.com. That's the number 4, the letter K, and the word free.com. And when you go there, it's going to take you to a little page that looks like this right here. So how do you get it? How do I get that 4K goodness? Just go right here and click enter your full name and put in your full name. And then your email address. And then click here to download, Bokeh. You're going to get an email. And in that email is going to be a link, and it's going to take you to this beautiful page right here with this bear that's giving you love, because we all love you. And this page was made by Final Cut Steph with love. So check it out. Check out all this stuff. Project files, for free. Film and light effects, for free. Rampant animated mats, for free. Transitions. Come on, help yourself. Come on, treat yourself. I mean, this is crazy. Look, motion graphics, distortion, visual effects. You know, what is all this stuff? A lot of people are giving stuff away, and just let me break this down for you. I've been doing this for 20 years. This is from my personal and professional library. I've been designing for you name it. I worked on Charmed and Ally McBeal and Roswell, and I worked on a ton of different music videos and feature films, and I've worked for every major network out there. And you can see these effects on every major network out there. And I'm not talking effects like this. I'm talking these exact effects. Every single one of these free effects are from our paid library. So you're getting the exact same effects that you see on TV and movies everywhere, and they're not watermarked, and they're 100% good for you to use today in your personal and professional projects. You don't have to pay. They're not watermarked, and you don't have to link to us or anything like that. That's crazy that people make you do stuff like that. All right, so you're at 4K free. The bear says, what up? Go down to Film and Light, and right here we're looking for Bokeh today. Feel free to download all this goodness, though. I mean, come on now. But go to Bokeh, and right here where it says click here to download free effects, click that magic button, boom. And as you can see, my 4K free goodness is downloading, and while that's downloading, let's just check this other stuff out. Every single one of these products, like I said, comes from our professional library. So if you want to know more about these products, click the button next to where it says download free effects, where it says click here to purchase full product. This isn't going to charge you anything. It just takes you to the product page. You can also go to premierebokeh.com or rampantbokeh.com, and it will take you right here. Boom. So now you can see, watch the video, read some stuff up about what the actual library is all about, see what people are saying about the library who've bought it, get all that goodness information. You know how it is. You know how product pages work. So you can check all that out. All right, so by now you've probably got your 4K free Bokeh, and let's jump into Adobe Premiere Pro. Cool, cool, cool. So the next step that we have to do, check it out, I want these effects in my timeline. How do I install these? You don't. So what we need to do is bring this in like you would any other media. Remember, I told you I created these in my studio. I shot these with my cameras and my lights and my glass. Final Cut Steph shot this stuff with her cameras, her lights, and her glass. You know what I'm saying? So it's all real. It's all media. So how do you bring in media normally? Well, you've got a couple different ways. In your project window right here, you can right-click and hit Import. And after you've unzipped your Bokeh files, just highlight them all and boom, zip. And they come right in, right? I'm going to go ahead and undo that. I'll show you one other way. Go under File and go Import. And again, boom, 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 blammy, hit import and zip, and they bring it in. Cool. I've already got these in here, as you can see. So I don't need them duplicated. I'm just going to go ahead and erase them. Okay, and unlike every other aspect in my life, I do like to keep my timelines organized. So I put our little Bokeh effects in here in this nice little bin so I can go to them when I want them. So what do we have? We've got this one, which is really cool. Man, they're long clips. Look at all that. That's 1.5 minutes of 4K Bokeh you got there. What? Same with these. You got all these really cool, beautiful lights and effects. I can't even scrub through the whole clip because there's just so much to show you. 44 seconds. So you've definitely got a lot of time to play with these, and that will come into play in just a second. I'll show you. All right, so you've got the effects and you want to do this. What's the trick? How do I make it look like this, right? So if I go over here and I just turn this clip off, how do I get this clip to have these beautiful overlays on top like so? Well, let me show you. So let's see. Let's recreate that exact shot. We used Rampant Bokeh 10 to create this. So let's go over here to the raw shot, like so. And let's get Bokeh 10 going. So, like I said, we wanted Bokeh 10. And of course, if you're in your thumbnail view, you can scrub over and audition clips. But because this clip is very different than all the other ones, we know we want the pink one. So go ahead and just grab it and drop it right onto your timeline. And as you can see, these clips are super long, right? You've got lots to play with. All right, so I've put the element over my video, and what? How do I see my footage? What do I do? There's only one other step. You have to blend it. So go ahead and highlight your effect like so, and hit Shift 5 to open up effect controls. And right here where it says opacity, we're looking for blend mode. Let's go ahead and change normal to screen. And then roll it back. Boom. As you can see, you've now blended real bokeh into your shot. You see this in all kinds of shows like America's Got Talent and American Idol. I mean, just every time there's a talent show, this seems to be the look now, where they're adding these big, beautiful real lights or flares or something, some kind of a cool overlay. And 9 times out of 10, it's Rampant, and that really makes our day. That makes it so worthwhile. That's just awesome. All right, cool. So as you saw, I just cinched the clip up, and I want to show you why. I want to show you how you get more out of these elements. Because once you drag, drop, and blend, you're done, right? So how do I get even more power out of these? Well, like I said, this shot's only a few seconds long, right? But this, as you saw, our bokeh was insanely long. So what does that do for me? Now I just have this big long clip in my timeline. Who cares? Well, actually, what you can do is go ahead and highlight your bokeh effect and go over here to the slip tool. And if there's a specific moment in time, as I scrub left and right, you can see that the box on the left is where the first frame is, and the box on the right is my last frame. As I scrub through, I'm now changing what part I'm seeing that's happening over my video, right? So I can scrub all the way to the right and go to the very end of the clip, scrub all the way to the left, still scrolling, and go to the very beginning of the clip, or I can go somewhere in the middle or anywhere I want, right? So let's just say I really want that, in that second window, I really want that big, bright white hoop right there. That's where I want that to be, okay? And I roll it back. And now the shot's different, right? No matter what I do, and I'll just slip like that real quick, right? So now I'm moving the bokeh around in time. Which brings me to my next point. Sean, why do I need 4K? I've got a little computer. I only work in HD. Whatever my reasoning is, 4K is just not for me. I don't need it. Why are you pushing this on me? Stay away from me with your 4K agenda, Sean. Whoa, I'm just going to show you how awesome 4K is. No agenda here. So check it out. Let's go over here to our raw shot. Let me turn this off. This is our raw clip. I'm in an HD timeline, right? So if I go over here to motion and I zoom out, I'm in an HD timeline with an HD clip. My HD clip is filling my frame size, right? And here's my bounding box. This blue box is my HD box. Now if I highlight my 4K bokeh, I go ahead and turn it back on so you can see it's bokeh prettiness, and I highlight motion, boom. That is our 4K frame. Whoa. So what does that mean for me? Am I just throwing away all this information? No. What you're doing is you're able to reposition and recreate a look. Maybe I want to cover her. Maybe I don't want to cover her. You know what I'm saying? It's whatever you want. So you can go to furthest extents of the frame, like in the corners. You can do something in the middle, right? You can rotate. Go over here, Shift 5 to effect controls, and you can rotate and just move this over, right? Probably, I don't know if I would do rotating, but you know what? There's people rotating overlays all day long nowadays, and it's kind of cool. So just play that back, and you would never know that that bokeh is now sideways, right? Pretty cool. Now, if you ever get disoriented, you're like, oh, I've made too many tweaks. I don't know what's up. Over here in the effect controls, just go ahead and click this right here, and it will reset all of your motion. You can also scale. Get more of that goodness that you see when you double click on it over here, and you see the whole frame. Now you can control how much of that frame, how little or how much of that frame is being used. So essentially, one clip becomes many, many clips because you can retime it, you can scale and rotate it, reposition it. You get a lot of flexibility in one 4K clip. So if you're thinking of 4K versus HD or 2K, think about spending a few extra bucks to get a lot more latitude in these clips. All right, let's keep on going. I've showed you once. This is now super easy. So what do? When we have a shot like so, I don't even know what clip we use, but I'll just grab one, right? Just grab the clip that you like, drag it on top, like boom. Go ahead and close out this bin. Hit Shift 5 to open up effect controls. Go to opacity and change blend mode from normal to screen. And boom. And what if you're like, hey, I like this, but maybe it's a little too overpowering like this. It's like, whoa, I don't need that. Remember, we can scrub if you just don't want that in the frame at all. Or we can go back to our effect controls, Shift 5, and turn off this stopwatch for opacity and just start dialing the opacity back. Maybe it's a little too much. Let's just start at 50%, right? Roll it back. And you're like, oh, okay. Maybe it's not so overbearing now. But maybe it is, right? Maybe you're like, I just don't want that flash over the flowers, or I do. Whatever you want. Just go ahead and mark your endpoint right there. I'm just going to use the razor tool because it's just a different method than peeling, right? Boom, boom, right? Highlight that up. Go to your slip tool and just slip and slide. Right? And then if you're like, well, nope, this element just doesn't work for me, well, you've got a bunch more to play with. So just grab another one, right? So we used 84. So let's just grab 2 and Option drag and replace, or Alt drag and replace on the PC. Now no more problems. But because remember, it's going to take the same properties that we had before, and we dialed back that opacity, so let's just bump it up, back up to 100% like so. And there you go. All right, so what else can I do? Well, let's go over here and check out some of these elements that we did. Ah, yes, this next shot. Glad we did this. I want to show you another thing that you can do with these elements, because you're like, well, you know, some people, I don't know what else I can do. Well, I'm going to show you some coolness here. So what we did is we used this element here over this shot here, right? And what did I do before? Well, I can always find a clip I've already blended. I can highlight opacity, hit copy, and I can hit paste, and I can blend my shot without going back and making changes. I can always copy and paste blend modes, right? But hey, wait, check it out. That's cool, but that's not what you showed me here. What? So how do I do that? Well, these files are huge, and they're 4K, and they're massive resolution, and they're not MP4, so they're not crushed to oblivion and compressed to oblivion. These waveforms are pretty healthy, and as a result, we can tint them. So let's go on over to our effects, and right here in our search box, type tint, and then just drag that over like so. And you're going to get this really cool black and white tint because it defaults to matte black to black, matte white to white, right? But we wanted some kind of like little red purplish, so let's just go ahead and find this cool little purpley effect, like so, maybe. And boom, you've now stained your bokeh. So now you've got purple bokeh. Now that's cool, and if you're happy with that, great. But you can also dial it back a little bit, because remember, as I've said in all my tutorials, tinting is staining. It's like throwing food coloring over something. It's gonna just stain everything and not necessarily take all the properties of that element that you're working with. So to protect for that, to give a little bit more realism, you can just dial back the amount of tint to something that's a little less stainy, right? If that's a word. So let's do 75%. Roll that back. And there you go. So it's up to you what you want to do, right? Let's go ahead and just clip that out like so. And as you can see, these effects are very long. All right, so last but not least, let's check out this effect where we put this right over our groom. We used effect 84, so let's go over here to our bokeh effects, find effect 84 here, like right here, and then just drag and drop and put on top, right? And what do? Well, we still have to copy and paste or change the blend mode, or drag and drop and replace. There's a million different ways that you can do this. So I'm just going to go back to the traditional method. Highlight the effect, go over to effect controls, opacity, change the blend mode from normal to screen. Now don't be afraid to experiment with blend modes. Maybe you want to do screen to overlay, right? Maybe that's like boom. And now overlay is going to be a mixture of basically what screen and multiply do. So maybe that's a little rough, but maybe it isn't. Maybe you like it. We just dial it back. So remember, with the effect highlighted, go to Shift 5, which will take you to your effect controls, and then just turn off this stopwatch for opacity, and then just start at like 50%. And see where that takes you. Now you're getting like really crushed blacks, which might be cool, and a hint of color where the bokeh is, right? But it still might be a little much, so maybe we don't use overlay, maybe we use screen, but we keep it at that 50%, so it's not overbearing. Remember, this is a shot indoors. See, it's still a little much. Maybe I'd dial 50% down to like 30%. That's the whole point. There's so much flexibility, you can just keep dialing. Yeah, it looks pretty good. Nice and subtle, right? And of course, I'm just going to chop this. And what if I'm like, well, yeah, just like before, just find another one. If you're not happy with it, and just replace it, right? Just keep swapping out until you find what you like. It's interesting. Maybe we go to 1. And go to 2 and just keep auditioning until you find something you like, right? And remember, all these clips are long, so I can zoom in like this, highlight this, go to the slip tool, and just slide, slippity slide until I get something that I like, right? Maybe boost up the opacity there. Let's do it at 80, yeah, 81, 80, there we go, sure. So there you go, it's super, super easy to add real bokeh effects to your video for free. So now that you know how to add bokeh to your video content, please download them, please use them, and go ahead and let me know what you think about them. Leave a comment. And also, make sure to check out our Rampant Facebook group so you can post the videos that you're making. You know, we'd love to see what you're working on. Go ahead and share your work. Say, hey, check out what I put Rampant on. There's a ton of people already doing it. So there's a link in the description. So make sure to go to the Rampant Facebook group and show off your work. And of course, if you don't want to miss the next free effects tutorial, and there's so many on the way, I'm making as many as I can per day. Final Cut Steph's in the other room working on hers, and we've got Kevin P. McAuliffe and a bunch of other people making tutorials every single day just for you for free. So if you want to make sure that you don't miss out on the next set of free effects, go ahead and click that blue R right there in the bottom right-hand corner, and you can subscribe to our channel. Thank you so much. We run on love, and we love each and every one of you, so thank you for your sub. And of course, that's it. Head on over to 4kfree.com and load up on some or all of the free 4K goodness that was created by Steph and myself. And until next time, I'm Sean Mullen from RampantDesignTools.com. Thanks for watching.